All right, I'm looking at a Caterpillar that was built 200,000 miles ago. So it ended up coming back with a head gasket issue. It shouldn't have. Liner protrusion is all on. I mean, it is set right at 5.5. I know the spec is 5, but 5.5 is plenty fine. I run them tight, especially on the high horsepower stuff. This is 1,000 horsepower, 987, 995, whatever it was. Anyway, it's right at 1,000 horsepower on the PDI dyno. I've said this before in a couple videos, but this one actually pulls 100,000 pounds its whole life. Okay, I mean that's 100 plus. So it needed to be heavy, and of course the customer wanted it heavy and all that stuff. So I think I have figured out what the issue is. So the customer went with ARP head bolts. Okay, I've got a height gauge on it, and I've also found that the head bolts, give me just a second. Okay, the head bolts are, as you can see, and they are lined up with each other. You come down here, and those ARP bolts, this is ARP bolt, this is cat head bolt. Actually, these are IPD. I do have some cat head bolts to measure against. But anyway, the head bolts are longer for the ARP bolts, okay? A part of their sales pitch on this was the fact that their head bolts had, from what the customer said, had 4 more threads per bolt. Well, I'm not seeing that. Let me see if I can get another cat head bolt and see what we can find. Okay. We have alignment as close as we're going to get. I mean, we can bump that down a little bit. Anyway, we have 3 head bolts. This is factory cat. This is ARP. This is IPD. PDI, IPD, one of them. It says IPD on the top. It come from PDI. That's the box. Okay, so anyway, as you can see, those ARP bolts are longer. They're longer than the factory cat bolt, and they're longer than the IPD bolt. PDI, whatever they are. PDI, IPD, whatever the case. They are longer. They are even longer than the factory cat head bolt. Okay? That's one issue. The other issue is some of cat engines, the bolt holes were not torqued or were not threaded all the way to the bottom. Apparently this is one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the camera up and record how many threads that I have to cut into this. So give me just a bit. All right, I'm going to tap a bolt hole that I haven't tapped. Set this somewhere I don't knock it over and screw it up. Okay. Clean off the tap. Okay, it stops right there. Pretty tight. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. We just cut 5.5 more threads in the bottom of that hole. Yeah, 5.5 more threads. So, that could have been my problem. I'm going to look at the bolts, not this one because I've already cranked it down to measure that height. I'm going to put that bolt in and measure the height compared to this one. See how it is. This is a hole that has not been cut. The one that I have this bolt in. And I did clean it out with brake clean. So it's a fairly clean hole. That is one of the ARP bolts. Now I'm not saying ARP is bad bolts. Not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is we may not have had a proper torque on our head. Okay, that's an IPD bolt. PDI, IPD or PAI, PDI, what is it? PDI. So it's PDI bolt. Look what we have. It is, man, that's probably 1/8 of an inch difference. That's probably 1/8 of an inch difference. So we could have had an issue with that. So let's look at the bolts on the ends of them and see how the ends of them look. I can't see anything there. Okay, what about you see that ring? Come on. You see that ring right there? That shiny ring? That shiny ring is scuffing at the bottom of those threads. Not the bottom of the hole, but the bottom of those threads. That's what I see. Come on. That's exactly what I see. So yeah, I think I found my issue. Pretty sure that's the issue. Is the aftermarket bolts. So, something to look out for. mean, that's 1/8 of an inch, you know, that's a big difference. So we will, we're going to tap all the bolt holes. It puts 4 more threads in, or 5.5 more threads in them. And I think we're going to have no more issues. It sucks that it had to come back apart. It wasn't, the block wasn't tapped. That's, it's unfortunate. Customer's fine. He knows that's an expensive game to play when you're building 1,000 horsepower. So this probably would have held a lot longer had it have been a 600 horse build or something like that. But with this thing pulling 100,000 pounds all over the upper Northwest, the outer Midwest, the West Midwest, whatever you want to call, Dakotas, all up in the northern corridor. This thing pulls, like I said, 100,000 pounds. That's pretty much every load is plus 100,000. So it puts a lot of effort into it, and he likes to climb those hills. So, yeah, I think that's what we've found. So, yeah, I'm gonna start tapping headbolt holes. Guys, thanks for watching this day after Thanksgiving 2023. Hope everybody had a good turkey dinner, and everybody's having safe travels. So I will get to work. Thanks for watching.